A creature weighing 5 kilograms. No fangs, no claws, not a single drop of venom. It doesn't know how to attack. It has no shell, no needles, no shell to hide in. It would seem like easy prey for anyone. And yet, this very creature stands on its hind legs and hits an adult fox in the face up to 5 times per second. And a wolf, famous for its speed and endurance, it simply outruns, head on, effortlessly. Today we are going to talk about an animal that we have called a coward for 1,000 years, cross-eyed, a stupid jumping bean from children's fairy tales, who is afraid of everything and is forever running away from someone. And for 1,000 years, we have been wrong, because behind the long ears and short tail hides one of the most refined survival machines on the planet. Evolution polished it for almost 700,000 years, detail by detail, and brought it to a perfection that even the predators that hunt it are far from. Now I will literally take this animal apart, bone by bone. Every muscle, every trick, every gimmick. And somewhere in the middle there will be a fact, music, which I myself at first couldn't believe, about how a hare manages to outrun its own death. So make yourselves comfortable. Let's immediately deal with the main misconception that sits in almost everyone's head. A hare is not a rabbit. These are generally different animals. Yes, they look similar. Yes, both are long-eared, fluffy, both chew greens. But between a hare and a rabbit, there is the same abyss as between a wolf and a domestic lapdog. A rabbit digs a burrow, builds entire underground cities with passages, chambers, emergency exits, lives in a colony under the protection of walls and darkness, and its cubs are born to match this shelter. Naked, blind, deaf, completely helpless. Without maternal warmth and without a burrow, such a rabbit kit will die in a few hours. A hare is the complete opposite. It never digs burrows. It lives alone and sleeps right on the ground in a shallow pit called a form. No walls, no roof, no emergency exit. And its young are born already in wool with open eyes, and a few minutes after birth are able to run. Not in hours, not in days, in minutes. Remember? Music. This. We will come back to it, and it will surprise you. But a hare is not a rodent either, although it is constantly classified as one. It belongs to a separate order of lagomorphs. And the difference here is not cosmetic. It is hidden right in the mouth. A rodent, the same mouse or squirrel, has 2 large incisors in the upper jaw. A hare has 4. 2 large ones in front and 2 small ones, like pegs, hidden right behind them. It would seem like a trifle, a couple of extra teeth. But it is because of this pair that zoologists at the beginning of the 20th century separated hares into an independent order, separate from rodents. There are no trifles in science, and this order is huge. The genus of hares has more than 30 species music around the world, from the Arctic tundra to the African savanna, from the cold islands of Japan to the hot plains of South America. Hares live almost everywhere, except Antarctica, and they are also incredibly ancient. The oldest remains of a European hare found, according to genetic analysis, are about 770,000 years old. For almost 1 million years, these creatures have been running around the planet. They survived the ice ages, survived mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, giant deer, all those giants that disappeared long ago, survived the appearance of man and all his cities, roads and wars, and still jump through the same fields that their ancestors jumped through long before we even learned to walk upright. There is something about this that commands respect. And now let's see what is hidden under this fluffy skin. Because the body of a hare is not just a body, it is an engineering masterpiece. Every muscle, every bone, every joint is honed for one single task: to survive. And for a hare, to survive means to run away. And it runs away in a way that few people on the planet can repeat. Let's start with the legs. The hare's hind legs are disproportionately long, noticeably longer than the front ones. If you put a hare on its hind legs, it will be the size of a small dog. And this is no accident. This is a spring. When a hare pushes off, it uses its hind legs like a catapult. One jump, 3 or even 4 meters in length. At full speed, it makes 3 or 4 such jumps per second. Count it yourself. In a dozen jumps, it covers a distance of half a football field. But what is more interesting is what is inside these muscles. They are packed to capacity with a special protein, myoglobin. This is the very protein that binds and stores oxygen right inside the muscle fibers. The same one that allows seals and dolphins to hold their breath underwater for tens of minutes. In a hare, it works differently. It allows the muscles to plow at maximum power longer, without choking on lactic acid. You know, that burning sensation in your legs when you run a 100-meter dash at maximum. Well, a hare deals with it much better than us. The result is impressive. The European hare accelerates up to 70, and at its peak, up to 80 kilometers per hour. This is faster than a lion, faster than a racehorse, whose record is about 71. And the fastest man in history, Usain Bolt, survived less than 45 on his legendary record. That is, the hare runs almost twice as fast as the best sprinter of mankind. Just imagine, a creature weighing 5 kilograms, outrunning a trained athlete weighing under 90. This is like a domestic cat outrunning a motorcycle. I'll be honest, this comparison to Formula One hooked me especially. Engineers spend millions to make a race car wheel lighter, and the suspension rigid, yet resilient. And the hare got all this for free. The bones in the lower part of its hind legs have partially fused together. This deprives the foot of flexibility, but gives colossal rigidity. When hitting the ground at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour, the leg experiences a load several times greater than the weight of the animal itself. The fused bones hold it and work like truck springs, while the muscles are concentrated high near the hip and pelvis. The lower part of the leg is almost weightless, just tendons. The same principle is used by designers of racing wheels. The lighter the edge, the faster the acceleration and braking. But speed is only half the battle. In a straight line, hares are theoretically capable of being caught by only a few predators on Earth. A cheetah, or a specially bred greyhound. Therefore, a hare never runs straight. It runs in zigzags. Sharp turns at full speed. Left, right, left again. A dash, another turn. For a predator flying behind at 60 kilometers per hour, each such turn is a loss of a second, a loss of inertia, a loss of strength. The pursuer is heavier, and its own mass begins to work against it. And the light hare fits into turns like a racing car. It doesn't just outrun the predator, it wears it out. And this, oddly enough, are different things. And now the ears, those very famous hare ears, a business card that any child recognizes. Everyone knows they are for hearing, and this is true. The hare hears phenomenally. Every rustle, every crunch of a branch, every flutter of a wing behind its back. The ears work like parabolic antennas. Catch sound, amplify, and direct it inward. Moreover, the hare turns them independently of each other, one forward, the other backward, and scans the space around it in all directions at once, without moving its head. But this is only half the truth, because the hare's ears are also an air conditioner, a cooling radiator. Right under the thin skin runs a dense network of blood vessels. When the hare is hot, for example, after a desperate marathon from a fox, the vessels expand. Blood rushes powerfully to the ears, gives off excess heat into the air through the thin skin and returns to the body already cooled. And when it is cold, the vessels constrict. Blood flow drops almost to zero, and the ears do not lose heat. An adjustable radiator, but without a pump and antifreeze. And here is what is curious. The hotter the climate, the longer the ears. This is not a coincidence. This is a law. In the Cape hare, which lives in Africa, the ears reach half the body length. Imagine a person 1.80 meters tall with ears almost a meter long. And in the northern mountain hare, which lives in the tundra, the ears are, on the contrary, short. Why lose precious heat when it's -40 outside? This rule in biology is called Allen's rule. The warmer the environment, the longer the protruding parts of the animal's body. And hares are a textbook example. They are literally drawn in textbooks. And now, what almost no one thinks about. Eyes. Perhaps the most underestimated superpower of the hare. They are located not in front, like ours or any predator, but on the sides of the head and also high up. And this gives the hare a field of view of almost 360 degrees. It sees everything in front simultaneously, on the side and behind the back. Sneaking up on a hare from behind is an almost impossible task. It will notice movement. It always notices movement. But you have to pay for everything good. Side eyes deprive the hare of three-dimensional binocular vision, the very thing that helps accurately estimate distance. And right in front of its nose, there is a tiny blind spot where the fields of both eyes do not intersect. That's why the hare was nicknamed cross-eyed. To examine something right near its muzzle, it turns its head to the side and looks with one eye. From the side, however, it seems as if it is squinting. And also when running, when the hare is closely watching the chase behind, all its vision is focused backward, and it can crash into a tree or bush at full speed. Not because it's stupid, but because at that moment, its eyes are entirely occupied by the one chasing from behind. Everything else is secondary. Tell me honestly, did you know that a hare sees almost 360 degrees without even turning its head? Write in the comments if this came as a surprise to you. I'm really curious. And now begins the territory that is usually spoken of in half a whisper, because it sounds, to put it mildly, unappetizing. But this particular feature is one of the main reasons why the hare survives where other herbivores give up. And I will warn you right away. I know, for a table conversation, the topic is so-so. The hare eats part of its own droppings. Yes, you heard right. But before you faint, listen to the end, because this is what saves its life every winter, and it is arranged brilliantly. The hare is a strict vegetarian. In summer it eats grass, clover, dandelions, young shoots. Winter hardens the diet. Tree bark, thin willow twigs, birch, rowan. Nothing particularly nutritious. Pure hard fiber, wood fibers, cellulose. The cow solves this problem with a 4-chambered stomach and long hours of chewing the cud. The hare went a different way, much stranger. It has a huge caecum relative to its body. Inside it live billions of bacteria that ferment fiber, break down cellulose, and synthesize vitamins and beneficial acids. In essence, it is a fermentation vat reactor inside the small animal. But there is a catch. The caecum is located after that section of the intestine where the body absorbs nutrients. That is, the bacteria honestly worked up vitamins and proteins, and the body can no longer assimilate them. The train has left. And here is the solution. The hare, missing text in original implied context, produces different types of droppings. The first are ordinary dry hard pellets that everyone has seen on forest paths. This is real waste, squeezed dry fiber. And the second type is soft wet capsules covered with a mucous membrane. And these are no longer waste. but on the contrary, a concentrate, a vitamin bomb, a protein shake. And the hare eats them immediately, swallowing them whole so that the protective shell does not collapse prematurely. They enter the stomach again, ferment there for another few hours, and finally give the body everything that is accumulated in them. Sounds wild, but it's a brilliant solution. It turns out the hare chews the cud, just not through the mouth like a cow, but, let's say, comes from the other end. Scientists even call hares and rabbits pseudo-ruminants. And it is thanks to this trick that the hare calmly survives on a diet that would kill most animals of its size. Bare bark in the middle of winter, please. Dry last year's grass, no problem. This mechanism turns almost any plant debris into full-fledged nutrition. And you will almost never see these soft capsules on the ground, simply because the hare does this mostly at night and early in the morning and immediately eats them. But now that very fact that I promised at the beginning, the one that I myself at first didn't believe, a discovery that turned zoologists' ideas about what mammals are generally capable of. It is called superfetation. Superfetation is when a female becomes pregnant again before having given birth to the first litter. Literally a second pregnancy on top of the first. In humans, this is so incredible that throughout the history of medicine, only single confirmed cases have been described, literally for billions of people. In most animals, this is considered a pathology, a malfunction of the organism. And in the hare, this is the norm. An ordinary, everyday, regularly used reproduction mechanism. How does it work? Pregnancy in a female hare lasts about 42 days. And on the 37th to 38th day, when there are only 4 to 5 days left before birth, the female mates again. A new ovulation occurs. New eggs are fertilized and begin to develop. At this moment, 2 sets of embryos at completely different stages temporarily live in her body, almost ready for birth and just conceived in one womb. She gives birth to the first litter, and in just 38 days, instead of the usual 42, brings the second. The difference is 4 days. Sounds like a trifle, right? Let's count. For the breeding season, which stretches for about half a year, this savings of 4 days on each cycle allows the female to squeeze in an extra litter. 1 additional litter of 3 to 4 leverets. And over a lifetime, this is dozens of extra descendants. This is not a guess of enthusiasts. Superfetation in hares was confirmed by a group of scientists from the Berlin Institute for Zoo and Wildlife Research. They performed ultrasounds on live pregnant female hares and proved, yes, this is a real, regular, evolutionarily fixed mechanism. Not a pathology, not an anomaly, a strategy. And this hooked me the most of all in the whole topic. Neither speed, nor vision, nor zigzags. Exactly superfetation. Because the hare does not just run away from death with its feet, it outruns it on a completely different level, at the level of the species itself. It breeds offspring with such speed that neither predators, nor diseases, nor frosts, nor hunters physically have time to wipe out the population. This is no longer the survival of a single individual. This is a survival strategy of an entire species. And it has been working for 700,000 years without glitches. Think about it. A small, herbivorous creature that has no weapon at all has found a way to cheat death itself, not by strength, but by the speed of reproduction. While the predator eats 1 hare, 5 new ones are already born. This is the real secret of why the hare is still here, while many far more formidable beasts have long since gone extinct. And since we are talking about offspring, let's linger on the leverets, because here the hare breaks all templates again. Let's start with milk. The milk of a female hare is one of the fattest and most caloric among all mammals in the world. The fat content is about 12 to 15%. For comparison, cow's milk has 3 to 4%, Human milk has about the same. That is, hare's milk is 3 to 4 times fatter than cows. Why such a concentration? Because the female hare feeds the cubs only once, at most twice a day, and each feeding lasts mere minutes. She simply has no time for long sessions. Every minute near the leverets is a risk of leading a predator to them. Therefore, the milk must be like an energy concentrate. One sip and full for a whole day. And it works. Leverets grow with crazy speed. After a couple of weeks, they are already practically independent. And they are born, as we remember, ready, in wool, with open eyes, capable of running minutes after birth. Zoologists have a separate word for this, precocial, opposite of altricial. This is, for example, a human baby, which learns to hold its head for weeks. A foal stands on its legs in an hour, and a leveret rushes off the spot in minutes. Here is the whole difference between survival strategies. But the most striking thing is how the mother treats them. Immediately after birth, the female hare thoroughly licks the cubs, removing the scent that could attract a predator, and then does something amazing. She scatters them one by one into different shelters at a distance of a few meters from each other, each leveret in a separate place. Why? The calculation is simple and cruel. If a predator stumbles upon one, the rest will survive. Not all eggs in one basket. This risk diversification strategy was not invented by financiers on the stock exchange. It was invented by female hares hundreds of thousands of years ago. And then the mother leaves. She doesn't sit with the children, doesn't warm them with herself, doesn't guard the nest. She returns once or twice a day, usually at night, for a few minutes to feed and disappears again. Sounds heartless, but it is the exact opposite. A large adult hare near the leverets would attract a predator much faster than a tiny ball motionlessly hiding in the grass. The mother literally saves her children by her absence. And one more detail that personally touched me. The female hare feeds not only her own. If she stumbles upon someone else's hungry leveret, she will feed it without hesitation. In places where there are many hares, all cubs essentially become common. No agreements, no hierarchy. Just milk to any baby who is hungry. And here is an important question for you. It concerns everyone who visits nature. Have you ever found a leveret sitting all alone in the grass? Write in the comments. And please remember, it is not abandoned. Its mother is almost certainly a couple of 100 meters away. You just don't see her. Never take such a leveret home. You are not saving it. You are dooming it. It is waiting for mom, and she will come. But this was all theory, and now the most spectacular part. Let's see how all this evolutionary machine works in practice when a real predator comes out against the hare, because the list of its enemies is huge, and each hunts in its own way. Let's start with wolves. The wolf is famous for its speed and phenomenal endurance. It can chase prey for hours, but the hare is faster over a short distance, and it zigzags. A single wolf is almost incapable of catching it. Therefore, wolves work as a team, trying to bypass the runner from the sides, cutting off escape routes. And still, as soon as the distance closes slightly, they run into trouble. With powerful paws, the hare instantly changes direction, and heavy wolves cannot manage such a trick. In the Arctic, hares gather in packs of several hundred individuals. And when a pack of white hares takes off against the background of white snow, it's a nightmare for the wolf. The eye cannot catch a single target. Everything turns into one solid flashing spot. The predator rushes about, loses strength, and eventually abandons this idea. I must admit honestly, when you first see slow-motion footage of these zigzags, the main thing dawns on you. This is not panic darting. This is not blind terror. This is cold, precise calculation polished by millions of years. Next is the lynx. Cats strike from ambush, and on a short dash, the lynx is an excellent sprinter. A powerful paw strike, and it seems the hare's fate is sealed. But even knocked down upon falling, the hare does not stop working its paws, and touching the snow, goes forward again. It rushes to where the snow is looser, and this sharply slows down the pursuer. The Canadian lynx has wide snowshoe paws, but the hare's soles are arranged the same way. It glides across the surface, while the heavier predator sinks. The outcome of such a chase is not predetermined until the very end. The threat from above is no less dangerous. The golden eagle is capable of noticing a hare's movement from hundreds of meters away, and its attack is sudden and swift. There are no obstacles in the path of the winged hunter. But the hare doesn't give up here either. It zigzags, and at the last moment can brake sharply, and the eagle flies past the target by inertia. A sharp jump to the side also saves the day. At low altitude, it is dangerous for the eagle to maneuver its wings, and the hare takes advantage of this. You should see how many misses this formidable bird has. Some hares manage to literally jump over a diving predator. But the fox is a different story. Against a healthy adult hare, the red rogue, frankly speaking, doesn't stand a chance. It is larger and faster than it seems. And if push comes to shove, the hare stands on its hind legs and starts boxing. And this is not a metaphor. Those very hind legs that carry it at a speed approaching 80 turn into a weapon, striking up to 5 times per second, and with sharp claws at that. A fox may well hunt helpless leverets, but messing with an adult fighter costs more than it's worth. So cowardice, as you can see, has nothing to do with it. And this is where what I would call aerobatics begins, because a hare doesn't just have legs, it has tactics. True multi-stage counterintelligence. The first line of defense is stillness. The hare lies in its form, pressing its body hard against the ground and not moving. Not a twitch of an ear, not a breath. Its coloring blends perfectly with the background. In summer, gray-brown merges with dry grass and soil. In winter, snow-white dissolves in the snow. A predator can pass 2 meters away and not notice. And the hare holds its nerve until the last moment, deciding in a fraction of a second whether to lie low or run. Too early a dash will give away its position and waste energy in vain. Too late costs its life. But if it does have to run and needs to bed down again somewhere, the hare executes a whole operation to confuse its track. First, it runs forward, then turns around and goes back along its own tracks. This is called doubling back. Fresh prints lie on top of the old ones, and a pursuer tracking by scent cannot figure out which way the animal was moving. Then the hare makes a giant jump to the side, 2, 3, sometimes 4 meters. This is a leap, and only after this, in a clean spot without a single track, does it lie down and freeze. Imagine a fox following a scent, reaching the double back and getting lost. The trail leads both forward and backward at the same time. It circles, sniffs the air, tries to figure it out. Then it goes further, and the trail cuts off as if chopped. The hare jumped 3 meters to the side, but the ground is empty. The fox darts about in place, and the hare lies 30 meters away, completely motionless, completely invisible. 3 stages. Doubling back confuses. The leap breaks the trail. Stillness completes the deception. And all this in the head of a creature with a brain the size of a walnut. By the way, the hare is active at dusk and at night for a reason. During the day, it sleeps in its form and comes out to forage with the movement of the sun. And this is also protection. Many of its main enemies, the same golden eagle, The same hawk. Hunt in the light, relying on the sharpest vision. The hare chose the darkness not because it fears the light, but because darkness is its ally. Anyone who has ever walked through fresh snow in winter and stumbled upon hare tracks has surely caught this strange feeling. Here, a chain of prints confidently runs forward and suddenly breaks off in an open field, as if the animal just took and dissolved into thin air. Well, now you know. This is not magic. This is that very leap. The hare jumped to the side and is now lying somewhere very close, watching you with one eye and not moving a millimeter. We are used to considering the hare a simple creature. The brain is tiny, 10 to 12 grams, the size of that very walnut. What kind of intelligence can we talk about, you will say? But observations say quite the contrary. Hares learn. They memorize the terrain down to the smallest detail. Every hare has a home range that it patrols every day and knows by heart. Every bush, every ditch, every turn of the trail. And when chased, it uses this knowledge. It knows exactly where it can make a sharp turn, where a ravine will shorten the path, where a stream will throw off the scent, where dense brushwood is that a large predator simply cannot. Music squeeze through. On its own territory, the hare runs noticeably more effectively. Home walls help. But what's more interesting is something else. The hare distinguishes between types of threats and responds to each in its own way. From a hawk, which strikes from above and reacts to movement, the hare presses itself to the ground and freezes. But from a fox, which tracks by scent and will not miss motionless prey if it has already picked up the scent, it instead breaks into a run and bolts. These are two completely different strategies for two different predators. And the hare does not confuse them. It doesn't just fear everything in sight. It assesses the specific threat and chooses the optimal response. Moreover, hares living near humans eventually get used to certain sounds. The roar of a tractor, the noise of cars, the barking of a chained dog, and stop reacting to them. But to an unfamiliar sharp sound, a bang, a gunshot, a scream, they react instantly. They know how to distinguish the familiar from the dangerous. In biology, this is called habituation, and it is one of the basic signs of a flexible mind. And here is a detail that makes you feel uneasy. Hares living near roads have learned to run along these roads, not cross them, but actually run music along them. Why? Because asphalt doesn't hold a scent trail. A fox chasing a hare across a field loses it as soon as the hare pops out onto the road. One could write this off as coincidence, but naturalists describe this behavior far too often. I am not saying the hare is a genius, but a creature hunted by dozens of species of predators that has nevertheless survived to the present day can by no means be considered stupid. The stupid ones go extinct, and hares don't. Speaking of cleverness and cunning, have you ever actually seen a live hare? Not in a zoo, not in a cartoon, but in nature, in a field, in a forest, by the roadside. Write in the comments how often this happens where you live. I suspect for some it's a familiar sight, while others haven't seen one at all. And I'm curious to compare. Most of the year, the hare is a recluse. It lives by itself,